Hello, this is Lois back with Disco Elysium, and I'm here to try to fix my mistakes. Hope Kim doesn't hate me, and beg for forgiveness. I'm probably only gonna play for about an hour today, since I was too busy to start earlier. But at least we can get some things done, and hopefully see Kim again soon. But yeah, it ended horribly yesterday. I don't even care about communism right now. But white envelope. What is this? I forgot. We can talk to Measurehead, which kind of sucks, because I don't want to have to do that, but I guess we will. Gaston Martin. Okay, so... we can go talk to Measurehead, and we also need to find... Uh... the cryptozoologist. Alright, I don't know if we ever walked up this way. Yes, I slightly remember this area. We didn't find anything of interest here, really. Okay, let me take a look at our map really quick. So we're like up here. Guess we can try walking over this way more. I don't think we went over here. It's so sad and quiet all by ourselves. Let me see. Guess there's nothing else going on here. Didn't we ever explore up here? Yes, we did. We found the jacket and the guy didn't want the jacket, and so we kept it. Oh, I bet we can open this thing now. Let's see. Tools. We can open anything. Another postcard. Nice. Postcard Korean 33. This one has hell written on its back. It cannot be further from the truth. It's the boom years in Kuron, the nicest district in Revachol West, is enjoying a sun-drenched day. Tall and handsome buildings rise from the riverside. Steel, iron, and limestone, with cloud shadows rising on the facades. Interesting. I think postcards are just for selling, but I've been just keeping them around. Oh, the body got taken away. Okay, there's nothing else of interest here. So let's keep going and find another thing to explore. Okay, I gotta freaking remember that... oh. Let's see if we can walk more down here. I gotta remember that I still have the thought on where all red checks fail. Oh yeah, we can go down this way. Is there anything else of interest over here? Oh, what's this? Oh. A space where stuff got... Oh, there's a person over there. Let's see. Okay, that's nothing of interest. Alright, so I didn't know we could head down here. Ah. Okay, so this connects to, the residential area. I wonder if we can... Can we walk this way? No. Okay, well, we can go down here at least and talk to that guy. Ah, we can make it around this way. Interesting. No boat in the boathouse today. Oh, what's in here? Ah, sunglasses. Savoir-faire. Nice. Super SAR sunglasses. Is your own stardom too dazzling for your eyes? Can't bear to look at your own fabulous reflection in the mirror? Then these classic oversized sunglasses are for you. Fascinating. The boathouse is shoddily constructed. A strong breeze might blow it over. More money for me. Wow, we've almost collected like $50. Ancient paint is peeling off the roof of this shaded bench covered in rust. Just want to check if there's anything else on the left of here. Okay, we can't go over to this area, so let's just continue walking this way. Interesting. The sign says an entrée interdite. I have no idea if I said that right. An old ticket taker booth, no longer in operation. Clearly? What's this? A scattering of bullet holes is spread across a cracked wall, reaching from one corner to the other. Even more bullet holes. Something has definitely happened here. The density and spread of these bullet holes is surprising. It takes a lot of bullets. Fully automatic rifle fire. Visual calculus. Let's see if we can figure it out. Maybe without Kim. Visual calculus. Nice. Okay. That's all we got. 42? Not bad. Darn. Unable to piece together the big picture just now. There's a hole in the hypothesis. I'm dumb. The scattering of bullet holes looks like one giant smiling mouth, smiling its deadly smile, laughing at you and the world and the living. Okay. This is the only thing, right? Temporary. Okay. Oh well. We tried. More money. Perfect. Oh, there's money over here. Give it to me, baby. The door is not only barred shut, it is inaccessible. Oh, another fallen logic perception. The fallen cap. Ultimate peak focus. The small wireframing inside this futuristic-looking fallen people hat gives it the aerodynamic shape of a whoop skier's helmet, but none of its protective qualities. Covers the wearer's ears and eyebrows to bring down the drag coefficient. Nice. Goes well with our spiffy sweater. Very nice. Okay, there's nothing else of note here, it looks like, so let's get out of here and then go back up. Maybe we can check out that wall later if we level up visual calculus. Ah, box. The section of the coast hasn't been used in decades. Ah, okay, let's talk to this guy. Let's check anything, if there's anything over here. Nope, just some couple of green dots. A buoy bobs in the water. The number on it says 11. Tiny cages, carefully constructed. The soggy logs smell of ignition fluid, still they won't light up. These heavy military blockades are riddled with bullet holes crumbling. More money for me. Okay, let's talk to this guy.
Here we go. Nice and easy. No way out, little guys. Not out of this jam.
There's a cylinder on the ground in which the man is arranging some netting. It looks like some kind of trap. He notices you.
Who's there? Oh, the police. Hello, officer.
His self-conscious enthusiasm renders his movements ungainly. He looks like your understanding of a scientist.
Is that the police? Why are the police here?
Don't worry, Gary. I'll handle it.
You must be Morel, the cryptozoologist?
To what do I owe the pleasure?
Cryptozoologist, I mean. Well, Lena sent me. She's been worried about you, and she's waiting for you to get back.
Of course. Thank you
Nice.
for passing along the message. That damn water lock is broken, and we can't go all the way around the 881.
Yeah, that was me. I broke the water lock with my motor carriage, but it's fixed now. You can go back. The water lock's been fixed. It was fine when I crossed it. Withhold the whole story.
Oh, good. We should really be getting back. Gary could use a hot shower and a warm bed.
Warm bed. Find Morel.
Did he say we can go back now?
Yes, Gary. We can go soon. If you see Lena, tell her I won't be long. I just have to do one more round.
So this is like an Australian accent, right?
Bait. Then we go in.
He refastens a bit of netting that has come loose in the wind. His hands are large and weather-worn, but also used to delicate, precise work. For all his passion, this man is diligent and patient. You can learn things from him. Yeah, let's talk it up. Tell me about this phasmid you're looking for.
Which is why we've been knee-deep in the reeds laying traps for it.
Well, first of all, it's dang difficult to find. What makes it so difficult to find?
Good question. Being a phasmid of the order Phantasmodea, a ghost insect, it disguises itself as plant matter. In this case, the reeds. Awful lot of reeds around, aren't there? And I suspect it may have also developed other specialised techniques to protect itself from predators or scientists in our present case.
What sorts of specialized techniques is the phasmid using to hide itself?
It's my hypothesis that it has evolved certain electrochemical defences that allow it to interfere with animal perception, impeding pattern recognition, confusing the visual cortex.
Interesting.
But I cannot describe how these defences work, much less how they evolved, without studying a live specimen.
How big is this phasmid?
I'm expecting it to be quite giant. One known species of phasmid, called the Megaphasmodea zoensis, is about the size of a grown man's forearm. So,
He leaves the conclusion up to you. Interesting. Why are you so interested in this stick bug? It doesn't seem to be as colorful as some of the other cryptids I've heard about.
typical rookie assumption.
Typical.
Insects are much more sophisticated creatures than those unversed in zoology give them credit for. Even simply catching a glimpse of the Insulindian phasmid would be the apex of of any cryptozoologist's career. But to study it and its defences, find out how it stayed hidden so long.
He shakes his head. Would be glory itself. What have you discovered about it so far?
Very little, I'm sorry to say. No one's ever captured a specimen, so all our information is based on first and third-hand accounts.
So no one's ever found one?
Not yet. That's what
Holds up
makes
an
it a
index finger.
cryptid.
What if no one can prove it exists? How do you know it's real?
I know it's real.
The cryptozoologist says, brusquely, even enough that even he seems taken aback by it.
By which I mean,
He says, gathering
we've
himself.
heard enough first-hand accounts to believe quite firmly that the Insulindian phasmid is more than mere superstition.
Lena said that there has been a sighting of it here in Martinez.
Yes, the most recent sighting was by a couple of teenagers along the coast here. That's what brought us to Martinez specifically. It's the first credible sighting in several decades. Admittedly, it's an unusual location for this species, but with all the sewage runoff upstream, it probably doesn't matter much anymore. I have to resist the thought. Such an extraordinary creature is doubtlessly highly resilient. After all, it's generally thought to be capable of parthenogenesis.
Parthenogenesis. Parthenogenesis?
Yes. The females don't need males to reproduce. Makes it easier for a species to survive in adverse conditions.
Females reproducing without males? A travesty, a crime against passion and common sense. This arouses no special feelings in me. That's pretty clever.
Yes, the Insulindian phasmid is a very clever insect. That's why it's so damn difficult to catch. But as a scientist, I'll try my best to remain dispassionate.
There's nothing dispassionate about the way he talks about the insect. Tell me more about these traps.
Well, they may not look impressive, but Lena designed them quite cleverly, so I'm sure they'll do the trick.
He points at the cage of mesh and wiring on the ground. Lena designed these traps?
Yes.
He says with some pride. How did the traps work?
Simple. Attracted by the locusts, the phasmid crawls down the funnel and, having eaten its fill, can get back out. At least, that's the intention. The net isn't a perfect solution, but we didn't want to use anything that might damage the specimen's delicate exoskeleton.
What are you using as bait?
Locusts.
He gestures toward the trap.
Nearly all known phasmids are herbivores, of course. But we've hypothesized that the Insulindian phasmid might occasionally prey on other insects.
Inside the traps, a number of locusts crawl and tumble over one another in a tiny chittering swarm. What will we do if these traps don't work?
They'll work, I assure you. The predatory hypothesis, using locusts as bait, accounts for the failure of previous efforts by other teams, which use plants. We have given this some thought.
Traps do seem to be deftly and thoughtfully constructed. It's clear the cryptozoologist's wife knows what she's doing. Okay.
Yes. What?
Lena seems pretty eager for you to return.
And I'm eager to return to her, I assure you. But I can't leave before we finish with these traps. My wife understands that just as well as anyone.
He looks south, where Lena would be.
Come on, Morale. We've been soaking out here for days. It's time to go back.
And leave the traps? Absolutely not.
He yells in response.
I won't let Lena down.
Come on, she wants us back. I'm soaked up to my nuts over here. We'll both catch reed crabs if we don't dry out soon.
I didn't know the phasmid was so important to Lena.
Of course it's important to her. She's seen it. A verified sighting, on record. One of only 4 this century, and it's hers.
She's seen it? Really? She sighted the phasmid? She didn't tell me that.
Yes, that's how we first came to know one another, in fact. But that's her story to tell, not mine.
He coughs and continues.
Suffice to say, it's long been our dream to find proof of the Insulindian phasmid together. I can't abandon course now.
Another cough into his fist this time. His spirit may be willing, but his body might be too old to endure the rigors of the coast. Maybe you could go back to the whirling, warm up to come check the traps later. You should just give on this bug hunt. Okay, I understand. I don't give up on things either.
No. The traps need to be monitored on a regular schedule. What would we do if the phasmid were to starve while we were sipping tea at the hostel?
He's dead set on this. I could go for some trap setting. What if I check the traps for you?
I didn't expect you to take such an interest in our work here, officer.
He looks at you with obvious surprise. Cryptozoology and detective work are very similar. Chaos is my method. I am its scion. I am all in with this cryptid stuff. I'm hooked.
Yes, indeed. Both require a great deal of research, attention to detail, and, above all, persistence.
Where are these traps?
There are 4 in total. One is to the south, on this little peninsula, by the boathouses there. It's very near.
I think we saw it. I think I remember where it is.
Another we set in Land's End, to the northeast. It's behind a small sand dune there, on your way to the old radio
Okay, the radio tower is
after
where...
the church.
I remember that one. Okay. Oh, man. Okay, boathouses, church.
The third is set near the canal, where you crossed,
Canal?
by a concrete slab. A big thicket of reeds going up the slope, and among them,
He gestures to the trap in front of him.
you should check at least one of those before returning to this one, since I just said it. This one's more of a technicality, but still, better safe and stupid than sorry.
Okay. So, boathouses, boathouses, the church, and the canal. Okay, I'll try to remember. What do I do if there's a phasmid in one of the traps?
Bring it to me at once. Just make sure the trap is closed tight.
What if I encountered the phasmid in the wild?
That's highly unlikely, officer. But in the event you do, I'll spray you with a pheromone mixture I developed.
Takes out a small white spray can. Did you hear that? Pheromones. You were right about the teenagers. So it really was the phasmid that made the teenagers make out.
Oh, I doubt there is any connection there. Anyway, these pheromones will attract the insect to you, or at least prevent it from bolting at the sight of you. It's quite potent. Should last you about a week.
Lay it on me, thick. Lay it on me. He does it with the odd-smelling spray and then gives you a satisfied nod. This is the smell of dying reeds from long crumbling into the water. I'm ready. Let's get to it.
Thank you for your help. Gary and I will start breaking down camp. If you have any more questions, now's the time to ask.
Okay.
Finally, you're being sensible. I'll start packing right now.
Let's see if our tasks indicate where the traps are. Ah, okay. They do. What about his eager to leave friend Gary there? Talk to him too, perhaps. How did you become a cryptozoologist?
I've just always liked animals and puzzles. Searching for cryptids is a bit of both.
Okay, I'm gonna check on my thoughts. Okay, the precarious world is almost freaking done, and it won't ruin my life anymore. So you're living your childhood dream out here.
It's not child's play. Just because I have to traipse through the mud every so often.
His eyes narrow. Why not be a zoologist? Real animals are puzzling too.
Real.
He scoffs at the concept.
I know you think one is a respectable profession, while the other is superstition. Everyone does.
Honestly, being a cryptozoologist trumps most of the garbage I've seen people do. Cryptozoology does seem like a lot of wishful thinking. I don't. It's a profession just like any other.
Indeed. My methods do not differ from other scientists. I simply draw upon a wider variety of evidence. And I have more hope that something truly surprising might happen.
You're nerve-wracking to tell you there's no such thing as a positive surprise. Like, surprises are mostly miserable. Has anything truly surprising ever happened to you?
No, as I said, I have yet to catch a cryptid. Although I have come close. Close enough to keep trying.
Interesting. Something for later. This close call. What kinds of evidence do you use?
Everything from forgotten regional lore to newspaper accounts, like the one that brought us here, to look for the phasmid. I keep a very open mind.
So you have never discovered a cryptid?
No. Very few cryptids are ever discovered, and not for a lack of trying. To stay hidden is a cryptid's primary quality. It's even in the name, cryptid.
So many cryptids have been found.
Of the list of cryptids kept by the Cryptozoological Society of Chemnee, which is 4,082 items long, about 2,000 have been confirmed as hoaxes. 2 are categorized as confirmed discoveries. The rest are in differing stages of discovery, refutation, and data collection.
Only 2 have been proven to be real?
Yes, the Chateau Quan forest pygmy, who turned out to be an extinct species of primate, and a cave salamander from Hugo Grad, who is, honestly, quite unremarkable. It's in a zoo somewhere. We cryptozoologists are brutally honest with ourselves, more so even than the public. With cryptids, most cryptids are hoaxes or they are never found. That does not mean we should stop searching.
2 out of 4,000 is not even 1%. Not approving the Insulindian phasmid will be the 3rd.
Indeed. If our expedition is successful, every paper in the world will report on it. From Revachol to Dushantu. It will be a zoological miracle.
He does not smile, just looks you in the eye. It's a forceful gaze. The hair on your arm stands up. Electricity. Sounds like reeds hissing. Thanks for explaining that. Now about something else.
Yes?
Specific cryptids.
Alright. What cryptids precisely? I usually discuss these things with specialists, so I don't know what.
He eyes you skeptically. You need to ask him about specific cryptids. Cryptids you've heard about from Lena or his friend Gary. He won't just talk. What cryptid did you almost catch? You said before you almost caught one. Gnome of Jeroma. I know the biggest cryptid, the giant of Kokonur. Yeah.
A willow person. It's a long story. One non-specialist would find rather dull.
What are willow people?
They're not people, really. Some argue they aren't really animals, as they seem to have evolved directly from trees.
He says it in a self-explanatory, everyday manner.
They're very, very thin, almost flat in fact, and can camouflage themselves easily, wrapping themselves around trees and blending in with the tree bark. In that way, they're not too dissimilar from the phasmid we're looking for here.
Wait, so I might have seen these willow people without knowing it?
You probably have.
How did you almost catch a willow person?
Gary and I painted an entire grove's worth of trees in slow-drying paint. It was a bright lavender colour. I was hoping one of the willow people would get paint on it and not be able to camouflage itself. After waiting in hiding for hours, I saw a figure slip from one of the trees, a lavender shadow, dashing through the grove.
And then?
I chased it with a net. Not very elegant. You can't be elegant in the field. And, well, it was faster than me.
Lavender shadow.
I know it sounds like we were snacking on funny mushrooms, but I did see motion and colour. Mine is not a confirmed sighting of a cryptid, however. Much goes into verifying these things, and my account comes short of a few standards.
And then a sighting of the phasmid, is that?
Confirmed.
He replies quickly.
It's 100% verified, and meets all the standards of an authentic cryptid sighting.
Green ape pen.
I see you've been talking about cryptids with Lena.
He smiles.
The kind green ape is one of her favourites. We travelled to South Safra to look for it once. Gary and I got stuck in a rainstorm, though, and had to spend most of our time there in a little village. The search was fabulously unsuccessful, but the people were very nice. I'm glad they didn't understand what Gary was saying about them.
What? South Safra? They're just on a different rung of the ladder, Morale. I had no problem with them.
Really? You kept complaining about how dirty everything is, but we digress.
They're a nascent culture. I just didn't feel comfortable. And let's change the topic, okay? Talk about your critters. Or whatever.
He mumbles something. I know about the most dangerous cryptid, the Gnome of Jeroma.
Formerly the most dangerous, yes. But do you know the most dangerous living cryptid?
Living?
The most dangerous cryptid is a carnivorous ruminant, known colloquially as the dread moose.
I'm glad Kim is not here for this, because he'd probably be bored out of his mind, but... The dread moose?
Yes. The dread moose subsists entirely on flesh. It has even been known to dig up fresh graves in search of sustenance.
Interesting. Hold on, does it also attack people?
Human remains have been found deep in the forest, torn apart,
Whoa.
then trampled into the mulch by large hooves. Infer from that what you will.
What does it look like?
Just like an ordinary ardent moose.
Sorry, I was grabbing some water and he only said one sentence. Oh no, I don't have any water. I'll get some in a second. Then how can you tell if it's the ordinary or the dread kind?
You can't. That's what makes it so dreadful and hard to identify.
I'm not completely sure about this dread moose.
The bodies found in the forest are just one piece of physical evidence. There's more.
What's the other
Recent
evidence?
surge in the moose population. As hidden carnivores, the dread moose are effectively removing competition for both themselves and their evolutionary cousins.
But why would it need to hide its carnivorous nature?
Moose are already being hunted for sport. Can you imagine what would happen if they came to be viewed as predators?
What exactly is the relationship between carnivorous and regular moose?
The carnivorous moose are a very young species, the result of a genetic mutation that fared well in the process of natural selection. It makes sense that such a majestic animal with natural weapons, antlers, would come to rule the forest. The only strange thing is that it took so long.
Are there any reliable eyewitness accounts of a moose killing other animals for food?
One slaughterhouse at the outskirts of the woods in Vasa reported that its staff kept seeing moose in the distance. The moose would just stare at the building, as though they were waiting for something, its eyes bloodshot and full of cruelty.
That does sound suspicious.
And that's not all. Some of the slaughterhouse apprentices went hiking by a nearby creek and saw a moose nibbling on an unidentified carcass. Anyway, there is more than enough evidence to justify a thorough search for the dread moose. Let's close the subject before it turns into an argument.
Here's a man who had more than his fair share of heated arguments and would, surprising as it may seem, prefer not to have any more. Oh, I guess it's done. It's just we need to finish our conversation. Yeah, so let me pause here. We'll get some water and I'll be... Okay, I'm back. I know the biggest scripted, the Giant of Coconut.
That's impressive, I guess.
He doesn't seem that
But
impressed.
have you seen it with your own eyes?
No.
Of course you haven't.
He seems satisfied. Have you seen it?
I haven't had a chance to travel to Coco Nor. No. And I likely never will. The Samaskill desert region has been embroiled in a small civil war for the last 8 years. I fear this mindless barbarism may have wiped out the elusive creature entirely. Sightings of towering luminosities have grown rare recently, while they once used to be constant.
I know about Cryobacter cathalensis.
Oh, everyone knows about that one, thanks to Professor Mijanu being the talk of the town for a time.
He coughs in his fist. A bit of jealousy there. He'd want that glory, truth be told, even if he'd had to inject himself with bacteria to get it.
Although, probably because her life ended as a result of her work in Gutler, no one remembers her contributions to the search for the Nong-Ok.
Nong-Ok?
A flightless cursor owl found in the Seminine Isles. Its long legs permit the Nong-Ok to run faster than any other avian, perhaps any other animal. Who knows? When it's not hunting its prey in this manner, the Ok hangs from tree branches, like a bat, waiting to dive on hapless prey below on the jungle floor. Mijanu liked extreme animals, you see. One of the few figures of the academic establishment I respect. Really a shame she disappeared.
When did she disappear?
Oh, decades ago. In the 30s. I didn't know her personally, of course. The chasm of academic pretension still stood before us, even though she had unusual courage for someone from the other side.
Tell me about a cool cryptid.
No offense, officer, but I'm not much of a pedagogue. I don't know what I would have done if Lena hadn't persuaded me to go back to field research. You should ask her if you want interesting stories. Me? I'm not a people person, unless you haven't noticed. And I don't make a good lecturer. My strength lies in field work and persistence.
Brushing an errant strand of hair from his eye. This is a gruff man who's been ridiculed too many times to feel comfortable talking about what's dearest to his heart. It's in his shoulders, his face, his everything. Okay.
By all means.
He coughs and wipes his mouth. Alright. Let's check in on our thought.
The precarious world. How not to lose. It is impossible not to. The world is balanced on the edge of a knife. It's a game of frayed nerves. You're pushed on by numbers and punitive measures, pain, rejection, and unpaid bills. You can either play, or you can crawl under a boat and waste away, turn into salt, or a flock of seagulls. Your enemies would love that. Or you can fight. The only way to load the dice is to keep on fighting.
Critical success and failure threshold lowered by 1. That is freaking amazing. I really like that paragraph. It's impossible not to lose. The only way you load the dice, is to keep on fighting. Wow, that might be my favorite so far out of all the thoughts we've had. Interesting. Look at all these different things you can come across. So fascinating. And we've barely touched any of them. But yeah, critical success and failure thresholds lowered by 1 is so good. So that means it's easier to succeed, right? Find better loot in locked containers. Jamrock Shuffle. This one we could probably get rid of. We want to try another thought. Lumpty Dumpty Dom Center might be interesting. It's only 42 minutes. They're like an order of... This is, communism. I'm not very interested in that, though. Okay. Well, we'll see where those thoughts go. I guess in the meantime, we can save this skill point for something here. If we want to, recheck anything.
Hello, I'm Gary. Very generous of you to help us out, officer.
The crypto-fascist.
I'm just waiting for my friend Morel to finish up with his insect traps so we can return to civilization.
Not a lover of the great outdoors?
I like nature, just not this bloody coast. It's mostly drunks and degenerates that come here.
Hi, Autokaiser 300. I'm not going for 100%. This is just my, playthrough that I wanted to try. So yeah, just playing at my own pace. I have, watched other people play this game, though, so... yeah. Yeah, so it's not, it's my first time playing on my own. But not my first time, seeing the game. So, like, I know the main story and what happens. I just wanted to try something different, because a lot of the people's videos that I watched, they did, like, intelligence or psyche for their stats, but I wanted to try, the physical build and see what would happen, so that's what I'm doing. Let's see. Drunk and degenerate. That's my crew. Sadly, I might be a drunk or a degenerate. Maybe even both. Nobody's perfect. I'm sure you've been tempted to drink.
Oh, I've been tempted. But someone has to stay strong for Revocall.
Revocall? He's totally saying it wrong. He nods, gravely. His gaze shifts to the pile of soggy logs at his feet. Do you know anything about the man hanged behind the whirling in rags?
Oh, so that's what the RCM in Martinez is about. Great. Great to hear someone's finally taking care of that.
Oh, he nods in sincere approval. So you do know something about it?
No.
He shakes his head
Nothing.
emphatically.
He was some kind of mercenary. But everyone here knows that. I'm just glad to hear you're looking into it. That's all.
emphatically, then corrects his tie. He's not feeling very comfy in his shoes, is he? Strange. Are you a cryptozoologist too?
No, no. I help Morel with research sometimes, and I've learned some things along the way. But I don't usually go in for picnics like this on my own.
Your last one was a physical and shivers build? Oh, nice. Yeah, I remember a lot of people who had chosen intellect as their main thing. Encyclopedia would always, like, give them a lot of information. And I feel like Shivers kind of does the same thing, but just, like, a different flavor of it. I like Shivers a lot more. It's very, the imagery Shivers provides is, like, really cool. There probably is a follow-up to this, but you can't think of any. It doesn't matter. Waste of time anyway. Gotta keep moving. Is this your mug? We found the mug in the garbage, I think, right?
My mug? Why would you think that?
His eyes widens at the side of the mug. He's seen it before, all right. I can see you recognize it. It's in your eyes. You look like the kind of guy who might have a collection of mugs like this.
I may have had a similar looking mug in the past. That's all.
Just a minute, man. You put the mug in the trash container behind the whirling. Still seems suspicious. Did I mention the mug was found at the scene of a lynching? You look like the kind of man who knows it's a crime to lie to an officer.
Maybe. Okay. Yes, I did. I know I shouldn't have, and I am very sorry, officer.
He pauses.
You're not going to find me, are you?
I am. For 250 real, the maximum. Should we make him give us $250? That's pretty funny. Let's just do 100 and make it spicy.
Okay, I deserve that. And I won't do it again.
He accepts the slip
You
of
have
copy
my
of paper
word.
with a bow.
I don't know what got into me. Stuffing my garbage in another man's property, I've been having trouble at work lately. The Quakos are price dumping us out of competition.
What did you do, Gary?
Nothing. Nothing. Just answering some questions. Helping out the law.
Here we go. Start pumping that sweet info. How'd you get into the trash container? Gary, did you put the clothes of a murder victim, the man who was hanging behind the whirling rags, into that trash container?
I know a guy who works with the trash collection services. CS Municipal. He gave me a master key for the trash containers of Martinez.
Why would you need to go again to everyone's trash?
So I can use the Whirling's trash compactor to store my own stuff. Garbage disposal is expensive as hell. The damn Hemians run it like a mob.
He says, bowing shamefully like a fallen knight.
I'm sorry, okay? I thought I could cut costs. I shouldn't have. I shouldn't have disgraced myself.
Did you put those clothes in there?
Officer, please.
He raises both hands.
Let me explain. It's not like that.
Do.
I was only cleaning up. I live right across the yard from where he was hanged, and I saw him stripped naked. All the clothes lying around in the yard, smelling. People are animals, you know?
What happened?
Then I came out to clean up the rags because no one else would. I put them into the Whirling's trash, along with a broken mug, admittedly.
He changes his mind mid-sentence.
Okay. I was coming to throw the mug away, and, well, I threw the mug there and the clothes too.
As he shifts uncomfortably, a series of clicks like the clinking of glass beads against one another as they roll across the hardwood floor. We've heard the sound before, but where? Yeah, what is that sound?
What sound?
That clinking I just heard when you moved.
Really?
He fans his arms out slowly, and this time his emotions are soundless.
There's lots of weird stuff out here in the reeds, though. Insects, trash. Could be the wind shifting some garbage nearby.
Every day the wind shifts the reeds and whatever it was left in them. Tambourines and condom wrappers, plastic and glass bottles, the smell of decay. The sound you heard was not the sound of something easily abandoned. You wouldn't know anything about the victim's missing armor, would you? What was that sound?
Armor? No.
Oh, the armor.
I
Oh, wait,
mean,
okay.
yes, of course. I know he was wearing armor, but I don't know anything about it.
The clinking. He has an armor piece. There's something going on here. You should observe him more closely after this topic is concluded.
I hope I could help your investigation, in my small way.
He's visibly relieved it's over. Don't be so relieved yet, Gary. This bad cop may have been in your apartment, admiring your mug collection. Perhaps a little intimidation? Want to wear armor. Haha. So Gary lived nearby in an apartment in Martinez. I don't think we need to intimidate yet. I think we have pretty high, was that composure?
Always a pleasure to see an officer of the law.
Okay, it was composure. Ah, my game. Slide. Cannot slide. Darn it.
No.
Yeah, there we go. Let's see what we have for composure. Bum 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 bum. Logic. Okay, guess we didn't have anything. Oh, we were already wearing them. And no minuses.
Always a pleasure.
All right, freaking 83%. Woohoo! That shirt looks very uncomfortable on him. Look at the buttons. He's barely keeping that thing together, as if something is ready to rip out from underneath. His massive musculature, something worn underneath it. Yes, like ceramic armor, for example, one that makes a clicking sound when the plates meet each other, resembling pearls or marbles, stolen from the corpse in the yard, near where he lives. I see you're a connoisseur of high-quality combat gear.
I knew you'd figure it out, officer.
He sighs heavily.
I'm sorry I didn't tell you at once.
He unbuttons the shirt.
I was ashamed of what I did. And I didn't want you to know.
You see gleaming white ceramics shine underneath. A thin layer of interlocking plates covers his gaunt torso.
Gary, what's going on?
Later, Morale. I've got apologizing to do.
Give me that armor now. Oh yeah, now we have armor. He sighs again, hangs his head, and unbuttons his shirt fully. Curious. Is that how you pronounce that? That's probably wrong. That matches the head. That matches the dead man's boots comes into view. Soon it is in your hand, smelling of his sweat. But so light to hold, like a bag of cotton. This is it. This will protect your mortal shell. Don it and live. Why did you really put those clothes in the trash?
Everyone was picking those pieces off him, and I was watching them do it. And they'd scattered his clothes all over the yard. Everything was smelling.
He looks at his feet.
So I went there to take out the trash and started cleaning up. All those rags on the ground, him swinging up there, and...
He swallows.
I had a lapse of honor, sir. I thought, he's a foreigner. They all say he wasn't from here. Only the cuirass was left. So I stripped it off him. It was early in the morning. No one saw me. I took it with me. It was a mistake. Had I known it'd give you guys trouble, I wouldn't have...
His lips are quivering. Why'd you lie?
Because I was weak. I should have told you the moment I saw you. But...
The hell, Gary? You in trouble?
I'll explain later.
He doesn't muster up the strength to yell. Do you know who killed the hangman?
I always thought it was the Union. Some Union hardasses lynched him because of the strike. But almost everyone in town knows that. I wish I could tell you more.
He shakes his head. Are we done?
Yes, absolutely. I will never do anything like this again.
He looks around, relieved of some burden, his mouth still quivering. Okay. Alright. Let's... Aha! We can put it on under our shirt. This vitreous enamel cuirass fits snugly and redistributes kinetic energy across its countless white plates. Amazingly, it fits under your coat, and it also makes pretty porcelain sounds when shaken. Clink. Nice.
Always a
Okay, I guess that's it for here. What was I gonna do next? Oh, we need to talk to freaking... What's his name? Measurehead, that dude. And then we can also inspect the traps. So there's one near the boathouses, one near the radio tower, and another one supposedly where near the canal. Let's see if I can remember how to get there. So there should be one up here. Was it this way? Yes. I believe so. Just gotta go all the way up here. This relay tower coordinates boat traffic in the bay, barely. Oh wait, did we pass it? I think we did. Oh, here it is. I knew I saw it. Kablink. There's a trap in the reeds at your feet. It looks like the same one you saw at Morel before. Same mesh, same wiring. Look around. The reeds sway in the coastal breeze. They seem to be waiting for something. The wind picks up here, near the cape's end, surrounding the narrow strip of land from 3 cardinal directions. It's cold for this time of year. Search for the trap. Locusts are crawling around the trap, in the trap, confused but uneaten. You see no carnivorous reed phasmid gorging on them. Okay. Cool. Let me check really quick. There's any other checks we would want to do around here? I don't think so. Yeah.